And joining me now is Amy Walsh. She competed in the 2008 Beijing Summer Games on Canada's soccer team. Amy, thank you very much for being here. I want to ask you your initial reaction to this appeal being dismissed. Is it a surprise?
It's not. I was hopeful that it would be reduced to 3 points, but I think they wanted to make an example of Canada, and they did that, and now that's upheld. I think you take your medicine if you're those Canadian players, and you keep forging ahead. Like my friend and ex-teammate Diana Matheson said, they're going to take 6 points. We're going to go out. We're going to take 9. So we're going to run the table here in this must-win match versus Colombia, and you keep within that bubble, that unwavering sense of belief that these players have for one another. And, you know, the grit, the determination, the spirit that they showed, which was, to me, it showed everybody what Canadians are made of. And so now they've wrested that narrative away, I think, from unethical decisions that the staff members made. And now they've made it about them, and they've made it about their character and their performance. And so they just have to go out and keep that us versus them mentality as they look to beat Colombia. And I think they can absolutely do it.
Right. What do you think the effect has been on the team with, you know, this, well, it's being called the spying scandal, and, you know, lots of people talking about it. I'm sure the team members back at, you know, the Athletes Village, I'm sure they're talking about it too. What effect do you think that could have on them on the field?
Well, I do worry that the emotional and mental toll that this has taken on them since they got word that they were going to be docked 6 points. So they won that opening matchup against New Zealand. They beat France, the number 2 ranked team in the world. And so now with 2 wins in their group, in Group A, they're sitting on 0 points, you know, but I think you keep going with what you've done in this redemption arc that they're on, because what the cheating scandal did was to call their own integrity and their character and their reputations into question. It caused also perhaps past results, the gold medal that they won in Tokyo, the 2 bronzes prior to that in Rio and in London, perhaps cast doubt onto those performances as well. So this has had a devastating effect on these athletes, and so that the fact that they rallied in the way that they did was incredible to me. So I never had a doubt that they would show their mettle on that pitch, but the fact that they were able to put together such a comprehensive, dominant performance against France was unbelievable. And so I think that they're not only galvanized within that group, but I think they've galvanized the soccer community to say that this is what we're made of, this is what we're about, and we are not cheaters, in the words of Vanessa Gilles and those incredible post-match comments that she had.
As an athlete, how difficult is it to sort of block out the noise on the field when something like this is going on around you?
Well, it either goes one way or another, right? It either causes a rift because the players aren't together on it, or it's an incredible unifying force. And I think for this team, it's absolutely the latter. And so, you know, I think the staff that are there, I think Andy Spence on the touchline has done a good job. I think the staff there, they have faith in, but it's very much about these players. So it's an 18-player roster at the Olympics. It's a reduced roster compared to the World Cup where it's 23. You have 4 alternates, but it's these 22 players that are fighting for one another and are fighting to almost clear their names, because their names have been stained. There's a blight on them, and they're saying, this is not us. And everything that was within that performance against France was decidedly Canadian. And I was so proud as a former player. I think you're forever linked to the program if you've played for the national team. But the Olympics holds a special place in the legacy, I think, of this women's program. And these women now, I think that victory against France is right up there with any of the medals that they've won. So this is an absolute unifying force, and it's an us versus them. So if you're a player, I think you try to tune out even the news of the appeal. But it's impossible, I think, in this day and age with social media being what it is. But you keep going with that same mentality and you keep being the badass players that I know that they are. And I think that you can't look past Colombia because they're an incredibly dangerous team, especially on the attack. They'll be without Maya Ramirez, who's an outstanding number 9, an attacker, a center forward for them. She got a 2-match ban from that opening matchup against France, so she'll be unavailable. But they can absolutely do this, and then they'll be they'll be able to control their own destiny as they navigate their way through the rest of the tournament.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. That is our time. Olympian Amy Walsh, thank you very much for being here today and sharing your insights.
My pleasure. Thank you.